of people who will say, I work in a toxic environment. Well, sometimes that toxicity at the heart of it is the lack of what you just said, the lack of relationships, the lack of trust.
Ever walk into your living room at 6:45 p.m. in the evening and see a lunch tray with dirty dishes still sitting on the coffee table? And the kicker, it's truly been there since lunchtime. Now this happened to me. I had a choice. Do I get annoyed and launch into the classic, why can't you clean up after yourself lecture? Or do I find a better way to handle this situation? One that keeps the peace and maybe even gets the dishes washed. In this video, we'll dive into how Dr. Mary Lee Adams' Choice Map can help us manage conflict, whether at home or in the workplace. Welcome to the Agile Leader channel with me, Paya Fitzgerald, where we help increase confidence, connection, and collaboration among teams and individuals. In this video, in collaboration with Dr. Mary Lee Adams, creator of the Choice Map and the author of Change Your Questions, Change Your Life, we will share a tool to help you experience a more rewarding relationship with yourself and others. And speaking of rewarding relationships, stick around to see how I manage this dishes all day in my living room situation. Conflict is a part of every team's journey. Conflict is a part of life. I mean, without contrast, which is another word for conflict, how do we get clarity? So whether that team is at home or at work, conflict is inevitable. The choice map, though, can turn those tense moments, these from the conflict, into opportunities for deeper understanding and collaboration. It's about shifting from a reactive judger mindset to a more proactive learner mindset where the focus is on finding solutions and not placing blame.
And it's really simple when you think about it. Because from judger, we consider conflict as naturally destructive. When we're in learner, we recognize that conflict is inevitable, as you said, and also can be constructive. And what I say to people all the time is, if you're mediating an issue, how far are you going to get if everybody is in judger?
Right.
Not far.
No one's listening.
Maybe to the judger pit.
Think about the classic cartoon where two people look at the same number on the floor. One sees a 6 and the other sees a 9. But both are convinced they're right. But they're just really seeing things from different perspectives. See, this is where the choice map can be so valuable. Because in that situation, instead of digging in and arguing, they can shift from curiosity and ask, what's the other side of the story? When we approach conflict with the willingness to see from another perspective, even the stickiest situations can bring people closer together.
One, there's been some very good research on high-functioning teams and low-functioning teams.
Mm-hmm.
It turns out that high-functioning teams, there's a lot of inquiry and engagement. And in low-functioning teams, very little curiosity or question asking. Number two, learner is psychological safety. It's where you can trust people to be forthcoming, to not be sabotaging, not be withholding. And if you put learner and psychological safety together, they reinforce each other. So I worked with a team that was extremely dysfunctional for 9 months, and all we did was work with the choice map.
Mm-hmm.
And they did a complete turnaround. And the part that I enjoyed the most is I had been told there was one person on the team who was such a judger that she probably would be my most difficult person. And it turned out she became the biggest advocate. She made the biggest learner transformation for herself, which also affected the whole team.
So whether it's navigating a small issue, like dirty dishes, or dealing with bigger issues, the choice map can help us manage conflict constructively. But where does emotional intelligence fit into all of this? Let's explore how the choice map can boost our emotional intelligence and help us respond more thoughtfully in the midst of conflicting situations. Have you ever experienced your brain going into autopilot where you end up reacting before you even have a chance to think? The choice map is a tool that can help us hit the pause button, take you out of autopilot. It's like a mindfulness tool helping us to slow down and choose our responses more intentionally. This approach aligns perfectly with Stein and Book's emotional intelligence framework, which emphasizes skills like self awareness and emotional expression and impulse control, core elements of responding rather than reacting.
We choose moment by moment. That makes this a mindfulness tool. It also makes it a tool to elevate emotional intelligence. When we can pause and choose rather than doing what you were describing is react, that's when we have personal power.
The choice map isn't just about decision making, it's a powerful tool for developing emotional intelligence. It helps us recognize when we're stuck in a judger mindset, reacting without thought, and provides us with strategies to shift to a learner mindset where we can pause, ask better questions, and choose to have a more constructive response. By practicing this, we build our emotional skills like independence and stress tolerance, which are essential for effective leadership and personal growth.
Am I in judger? That's high self-awareness.
Mhm.
Then the second pillar of emotional intelligence is self-management and self-regulation. So every time you do this, you're actually reinforcing emotional intelligence. We want to get past the reactive stance that the amygdala throws us into, and which is what judger is. And we want to engage our prefrontal cortex, which is where we make decisions from.
This tool helps to take you out of the fight, flight, freeze mode.
Exactly.
That's when you're in judger. That's where you're trying to, like you say, you're trying to protect something. You're afraid of something, and that judger mindset can take hold. And like you said, it makes it not just hard. I mean, your brain, the part that helps you think rationally, shuts down. Whereas when you switch into the learner, you massage the brain, and now it can breathe, and now it can think, and now it can make good decisions, and you can make better connection.
Here is a quick guide to better understanding Stein and Book's framework for emotional intelligence. First competency, self-perception. Know yourself, like yourself, and keep improving yourself without getting too full of yourself. Number 2, self-expression. Say what you mean what you say, and do it all without scaring people away. You like my little rhyme there? Number 3, interpersonal competency. Be a good friend, understand others, and help out with no strings attached. Number 4, decision making. Make smart choices, stay grounded in reality, and resist useless impulses. And finally, number 5, the stress management competency. Adapt, stay calm under pressure, and keep a positive outlook, no matter what hits the fan.
By the way, to avoid reacting from a judger mindset about the dishes, I had to ask myself, is it really that serious, Paya? Is it worth ruining the vibe before our plans? How can I turn this situation to my advantage? These questions help me shift to a learner mindset, allowing me to let go and let things unfold without feeling like I have to enforce the rules. The result? Not quite what I expected, but it brought peace to our home and set the stage for a fun night out on the town.
When we learn to respond rather than react, we take control of our emotions and how we interact with others. It's empowering to realize that moment by moment, we have the power to decide how we will show up in every situation. Imagine that. This shift doesn't just improve our mood, it transforms our relationships, our teams, and ultimately our lives.
When you're in a situation that is conflicted or could become conflicted, what you want to do is what we talked about before. Lead yourself back to learner. Whether you are the one who is facilitating a resolution conversation, or if you're a person who is engaged in a difficult conversation, the quicker you can get yourself to learner, the more expansive your thinking will be, the more you can turn on your emotional intelligence, which includes putting yourself in the other person's shoes, which is also known as empathy. And so you are automatically expanding your options for resolution.
This is already showing you a very practical, simple way on how to, what you need and what you can implement in your organization. Because there are a lot of people who say, I work in a toxic environment. Well, sometimes that toxicity at the heart of it is the lack of what you just said, the lack of relationships, the lack of trust.
Emotional intelligence is crucial for a balanced and effective life. With the choice map, we can strengthen our self-awareness, improve our emotional expression, and enhance our relationships. Now, I want you to think about that for a second. Think about everything that we've covered in this video. And I want you to ask yourself this question: how will you use the choice map to enrich your own life, to improve those important relationships, and to start new and amazing ones?
Our lives are a series of decisions. So then that leaves me with the question, do you want to live a life that's based on a series of judger decisions, or maybe have a life that's based on a series of learner decisions?
All right, folks, thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for watching. Let me leave you with a little chuckle here. Why is emotional intelligence crucial for any relationship? Because it helps you keep your peace and listen, even when you know the other person is dead wrong. Remember the dirty dishes. All right, folks, share this video with someone who needs a few more tools for conflict management. The person who always starts the argument and never knows how to end it. Oh, that was kind of judgmental. At any rate, you know what I'm talking about. And check out the Inquiry Institute to grab your copy of your free copy of the choice map. And don't forget to better yet, remember to subscribe our video so that you can support more content like this. We appreciate you, and we want you to have a winning week, a week full of wonder, or at least a few conflicts. Have a great day. Bye-bye.